Welcome back to King Power Stadium. It's another huge game for Leicester City women's side as they face West Ham United in the penultimate game of the season and their final match on home turf. I'm joined once again by Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and of course by Georgia Eaton-Collins as well, who of course is one of the Leicester players. Courtney, we were here last time for the previous women's game at home. Great win, 4-0. What are you thinking ahead of this game? It's quite a stiff task, but they're feeling confident, I would think.
Yeah, I would think so. I think, it was a fantastic performance against Liverpool. I was really impressed. Then, unfortunately, you come up against Arsenal and Chelsea, who obviously know how good they are within the WSL, but I think today is a real big opportunity. West Ham, I don't think they've won since January, sorry. That was against Wolves in the FA Cup. Before that, I think it's December they last won in the WSL. So, look, I think they're there for the taking. They'll be low on confidence. And I think the result with Reading yesterday, I think it's a massive boost for the girls today, and they know more or less if they come away with a point. I know there's goal difference to play with, but I think, a point for me would secure their survival.
And Georgia, thank you so much for joining us. It's fantastic to get your insight here as obviously a current member of the team. How are they feeling going into this match?
Yeah, great. I mean, I think since January when Willie's come in and different players and stuff, we've been feeling the momentum going our way, and we just want to keep building on that until the end of the season.
Well, we'll show you the standings in the overall season as soon as we can, but we're just going to talk through that a little bit because this is really crucial, isn't it? Leicester are in that 10th place, and of course they're on the 13 points. Reading a little way ahead there. Reading at the bottom of the table, and of course with that loss that you mentioned as well. West Ham not too far away as well. So in terms of the points, as you say, this is really crucial, and a win would be pretty special.
Yeah, definitely. I think West Ham as well, the form that they showed at the start of the season is why they're probably, you would say safe now, because as I say, since, December, they've not won in the WSL, which is, they've obviously been in very poor form. As you say, Reading have got Chelsea on the last day again, so another tough task. So, I think Leicester have done fantastically well. Willie was mentioning last time when we were here, when he was saying, look, we're going to, jump up the table. There was a few questions asked, but obviously, he's proved his point, and another 3 points today. It's showing the people that have said that he was right in what he was saying, and I agree with Georgia in terms of they've improved massively under him, and hopefully they can secure that survival status and then start planning for next season.
And they've had some great results with Willie at the helm as well, and actually has he given the team confidence, because 2 recent home wins as well has got to really buoy them up, especially for today.
Yeah, I think he's really emphasising that we're starting to build King Power as quite a hard place to come, and by winning today, if we win today, we'll go 3 wins on the bounce to finish the season at home. So yeah, that would be really good for the team going into next year.
You just touched there as well on the fact that West Ham have actually lost their last 10 games. They're also one of the only 3 teams not to have picked up any points in 2023. So in some ways, you might look at them and think, could be in with a good shout for a win here.
Yeah, definitely. I think, sometimes the table can be false if you don't look at the form. And for me, I think the home form that Leicester have showed, I think they come in, for me, as favourites today. And the 3 points is something that I'm sure the girls are aiming for, but it's something that they should be confident about as well.
A draw as well wouldn't be a bad thing. The 3 points would be the best, and we won't say exactly what would happen, but it would be a very, very good situation indeed. But even the 1 point, Georgia, would also be pretty crucial, and with the Reading loss in context as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the whole team knows what the win would mean, but we're well aware of there's still another game of the season to go, so we're not done just after this game. We also want to finish as high as we possibly can, like getting just safe for us at this point from where we come and where we are now. Like, we know we can get more points from these last 2 games.
Well, we've talked there, of course, quite considerably about Willie Kirk as the manager of this team and what he has done since he's joined and instilled some of that confidence in this squad. Lewis caught up with him earlier on today. Let's see what he had to say.
Willie, permutations at this time of year are a big word, but I guess the fact that it's must win, just win it and you're safe. That must be nice to have that in your hands.
Yeah, it's been the same approach since January. We've just focused on us, we've focused on performance, and we've not really thought about relegation, we've not thought about other teams, other games that are going on at the same time or the day before, so nothing like that's been mentioned, and we're just focusing on winning the game.
Did you keep an eye on yesterday at all?
I watched bits of it. I had an afternoon with my son yesterday, so he was trying his best to keep me away from it, and yeah, it's like any WSL game being on TV. I would try and watch it if I can, and it never made any sort of difference to my day.
Of course, it's easy to say we don't look at those games. It's not something we're worried about, but there must be a boost coming into today, knowing that a win gets it done.
I think everybody knows about it. We've honestly not mentioned it. It's not been mentioned in any team meeting. The staff have not mentioned it. The staff have been warned not to talk about it because we've got to just focus on what we're doing, because that's what's got us into this position, and I firmly believe that's what will see us through.
2 difficult games in the run-up to that. Has that affected confidence at all?
No, I don't think so. I think you know, those games, we're not at that level yet. We've got no right to be at those levels yet. So we're working hard at what we're good at, and what we're good at is being competitive against pretty much everybody outside the top 4 or 5, and that's what's got us in this position. That's what's accumulated the points. We've obviously finishing off with some really strong form at King Power, and hopefully we can see that off today in terms of 3 wins in a row here.
Yeah, when you talk about confidence, the memory of those 2 previous trips at King Power Stadium are going to be in the mind, because they were special occasions where you performed so well.
Yeah, they were fantastic, and you know, I think it's been a really nice sort of give and give in terms of us and the fans. The supporters have been turning up in great numbers. They've been giving us huge backing. I think we've given them something to cheer about. I think there's probably a combination of the Reading and the Liverpool performances what we're looking for today, because there was positives and negatives in both, and if we can bring it all together today, we'll hopefully give the fans something else to cheer about.
What would it mean to reach that target in front of these home fans?
Yeah, well, our target is based on points, and a win today will not get us to that target. So again, that's all we're focusing on. Good luck, Willie. Thank you.
Plenty of confidence, of course, based on that recent form, especially at home. Looking at the lineup here, we've had a few injuries in the previous weeks for Leicester City Women's, but now they're a squad who are looking back to full fitness.
Yeah, I think you look at the squad there. I think I always look at, you know, the centre half pairings. I think once that's consistent, you know, if you're playing a 4, it's the 2 or maybe 3 at the back on the formation. But I think Plumptre in there and Howard, they're the ones that I think give the most stability to the team. I think Georgia will probably obviously know better than me, but that's from what I've watched. And then, you know, going forward, they've got a lot of pace and power and skill to score the goals. But I always think, you know, a positive team comes from that sort of back 4. And when you feel safe and stable in that, it lets everyone else have a lot of freedom on the pitch.
We were talking in the previous game at home, Georgia, about the fact that they were going for a very attacking strategy. Do you think that will be the case here again, you know, based on this formation that we're seeing?
Yeah, I think that the team that's playing today is pretty much back to what Willie has been consistent with since January. So obviously with the midweek games it's hard to keep the consistency, but yeah, definitely with how Willie likes to play, very attacking minded, very much high pressing team, so hopefully winning the ball high up the pitch.
And of course as well, you know, just going back to what you were saying about taking the confidence from the strong defence as well. We've spoken in the previous weeks about Janina Leitzig and, you know, how she's been really crucial and gives the team confidence as well.
Yeah, I saw an incredible stat actually. I think she's made the most saves in the WSL, and obviously she only came in January. So, you know, that's incredible. It shows how important she is to the team, and yeah, I think, like I say, that stability, it comes from that. Even as a centre forward, I think when you know that the keeper is safe and he'll keep you in the game and make those big saves, you know that you maybe not having to score, you know, 2, 3 goals, multiple goals to win the game. So you know if you can keep a clean sheet at the back and have a steady game there, that you maybe only going to have to take 1 chance. And I think that always helps the forwards.
Looking as well at some of the players that are on the bench, you know, we've got Shannon O'Brien back to fitness and she's on the bench. Is that also something that the team are, you know, looking forward to having players like her back on the squad?
Yeah, definitely. I think at this point in the season, when we can bring different players into the game, bring different strengths onto the pitch at different times of the game, depending on the situation, yeah, I definitely think can bring different things to the game today.
Looking at the West Ham squad then, this is the team that we're looking at here. I mean, Georgia, you know, as a player, you know, you've gone up against some of these already yourself. Are there any players here that you would pull out and say, these are people that Leicester really need to look out for?
Yeah, I think there's a few changes to what maybe we was expecting from the starting lineup, but what our game plan has out, I think the game plan will be successful either way.
Quite defensive though.
Yeah, I think you can look at it either way. When, you know, it's a 3 at the back, you can either say that's quite expansive and attacking when the wing backs like to get on, but actually defensively, like you say, it can be defensive minded because it will get pulled into a 5, which West Ham do quite frequently. And sometimes it's easy to get out. So for me, the high press against Liverpool here for Leicester worked really well. So if they can do that again and lock on to that back 3, West Ham are going to find it really difficult to play out from the back.
Talking as well about that attacking mentality, you know, it's interesting to me to see that out of all of the teams in the WSL, Leicester have actually scored the fewest number of goals, which is almost surprising because some of the goals that they've scored recently have been so impressive, and actually 4 against Liverpool. It's not really a statistic that you would expect.
Yeah, I think from maybe a month or so ago, we really turned the focus on to being clinical in the final third, and because we was creating the chances over the last few months, but we weren't necessarily finishing them. So a lot of the focus has now gone on to how can we now finish those good chances that we're creating.
We, of course, were looking at, there were a lot of chances in that Liverpool game. You know, I'm referring back to it because it was such a fantastic match. So many chances, 4 goals out of all of those chances. So quite a lot of conversion there. I think we're probably looking at something similar to aim for today.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's important. I think, as George said, when Willie came in January, a lot's changed, and I think, you know, when you first come into a job like this, it's about making it stable, which they did initially, and then you can progress, you can work on the forward line, and you know, we're seeing some of the fruits of that labour there, and I think sometimes that happens, especially with forwards. It's almost like you get one, and it's like a bus; they keep coming. So hopefully, you know, they'll take that confidence again into this game and score multiple goals again.
Well, one person who scored her first goal in the WSL in the previous match was, of course, Missy Goodwin. We caught up with her earlier on.
Well, Missy, you haven't been home since that 4-0 display to Liverpool. What was that game like?
Yeah, it was a great feeling, you know, something that we've all kind of been waiting for. I think going into the game there was a lot of pressure on us, but we've shown repeatedly that under pressure we perform well. So, and it was at home, and it was really special to be able to do that in front of the home fans.
You scored your first WSL goal with some header as well. What was that feeling like when you saw it hit the back of the net?
Yeah, it's what dreams are made of, you know, since I was a little girl, a lot of things like that I've dreamed of, and I'm sure to do it in front of the home fans as well. Little girls there, they would really look up to me to be able to do that there, and I think not many people expect me to score a header, so it was really nice to do that.
Since then, you've travelled twice to the capital, losing both times to Arsenal and Chelsea. That must have been a tough week.
Yeah, it was. Mentally it's hard to lose by that many goals. I think we can't sit and feel sorry for ourselves, which we haven't done. You know, we've come straight back into training, and the training's been really good. So we've got 2 big games left, and we know that if we do well, we can secure safety.
Heading home now for the last time this season, how are you feeling ahead of West Ham?
Yeah, I think there'll be some nerves and definitely some excitement. I think, you know, the record that we've shown at home is really impressive. So it'll be great to go back there, and hopefully we can get a lot of fans there for the last game.
They're a team that you narrowly lost to last time out, so how have you been preparing for this fixture?
You know, I think it's important that we just focus on ourselves and what we can do to hurt them. I think that's what we've done throughout most of the season, and you know, like I said, our home record is really impressive.
A mention on the fans. Over the season, we know they've played their part. How important are they going to be on Sunday?
Yeah, massive. I think recently the turnout at the King Power has been massive, you know, and we've heard them throughout the whole game. I think this last push for the end of the season, it'd be really important to have everyone there.
And finally, a win could see you secure safety should results go your way. Is that something that yourself and the team are thinking about with only 2 games to go? Or is the plan just to focus on what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it would definitely be on the team's mind, you know, because that's what we've strived for all season. We have our internal targets and we're looking to reach them. So I think it's like, we know that it's going to be that way. However, it's important to still focus on ourselves.
Absolutely crucial member of the team in that win against Liverpool. Georgia, talk us through a little bit the way that this team works, you know, because I'm sure lots of people who are watching at home are probably thinking, where do all of these players sit alongside each other? You know, what's the kind of dynamic? You know, somebody like Missy, huge deal for her to get that first goal.
Yeah, no, you could see from the celebrations, even though it was 3-0 up, everybody was so happy for her to get her first goal. I don't think she was expecting it to be a header, but I think that made the celebrations even bigger. So yeah, yeah, it's great to see other people succeeding within the team. Yeah.
And does that really lift the rest of them up as well?
Yeah, definitely. Especially from where we've been at and now where we are. I think seeing different people contribute towards goals and stuff within the team is really great to see.
And of course, having some players coming back from injury as well, now some other players, getting their first goals, is that something that really buoys everybody up together and really gives everybody confidence?
Yeah, definitely. Willie makes an effort to make sure he shows different people's successes throughout the season when people are coming back, or first goals, call-ups to England and stuff like that. So yeah, I think making sure individuals' success is shown is great within the team.
Something that Missy was talking about there as well that we just heard was, of course, the home advantage because of having had the last 2 home games being wins. Courtney, that's something that's quite important here, isn't it? We've actually got a pretty huge crowd here today, which has got to not only give confidence but also lift the team.
Yeah, it's massive. I think it's not a cliche when you're going through difficult periods in the game as a player and you can hear the crowd pushing you on. It really helps. And I think home form is what I think a good sort of season is built on. So if you're confident at home with your fans behind you and you know that you can pick up points, almost the away points are then like a bonus. And I know that's not been like it all season for Leicester, but the fact that towards the end of the season they've started building that, and again going forward to next season, the fan base and the way that the trajectory of women's football is going, they'll want to again improve that for next season, and hopefully and they'll break more records in terms of getting people interested in getting the crowds down to the King Power.
You can certainly see that here today. We've got the whole of the one side of the pitch here absolutely packed out with fans, which is really great to see. And as you say, to have the sport really going somewhere and really getting so many more people coming to watch in person, not only on TV as well, it's just a very special time.
Yeah, it's massive. I think, I'm quite a lot older than Georgia, so I can remember the days where it wasn't like this and you were playing in boys' teams as you were growing up. So yeah, the fact that we're here now, as you say, it's televised, it's on national radio, you've got so many people coming in and supporting the club. It's massive, and hopefully this is just a start. It's a sign of things to come, and it'll go from strength to strength.
Well, we just touched on there a few of the fans who are here, many fans here today. Lewis is there in the stands with some fans. Lewis, who are you chatting to?
That's right, Hannah. We just heard Missy Goodwin talking about how amazing it is to play at King Power Stadium. They've loved it. The win against Liverpool, of course, the win against Reading last month as well. And the supporters keep coming to see the girls doing absolutely brilliant things. Some people, though, today is their first time. Delighted to be joined by some of our brilliant Leicester City fans. Good afternoon. Welcome to King Power Stadium. Why have you come today?
Well, we've been following Leicester City for quite a long time with social media, and the children started playing football at school, and we just thought it was really important to start their supporting journey, sort of integrating, starting with the ladies team, and we've been absolutely amazed and really overwhelmed. The atmosphere is brilliant. We've bought tops from the shop, we've had something to eat, it's been amazing, so we're really pleased that we've come today.
Well, you've come to a good game, big game for Leicester City. What are you expecting from them?
Well, we know that they need to win, so fingers crossed they can have a win today. So we're just hoping with our first time we won't be disappointed.
Right, let's meet some of those who are having their first experience today. Big football fans, what are your names?
Louis.
Louis, good name, I'm Lewis, nice to meet you.
Sammy.
Sammy, we got a big game today. What are you expecting?
We might win because they're only 2 at the top of us.
Yeah, do you want them to win?
So big win today. In terms of you as a player, what kind of footballer are you?
I'm a defender.
You're a defender. Do you think you could do a job today?
No.
No. We'll leave that to them because they're very, very good. Let's go and meet these people down here. What are your names? Hello.
Sophia.
Sophia, good to see you. Yourself?
Rosie.
And we've got a big game for Leicester City. What's it like coming to the stadium and enjoying it today?
Exciting.
Exciting. Big game. What is the score going to be?
We hope the score's going to be 2-1 to Leicester.
Yeah, we're going for a 2-1 Leicester City win, of course. We'll keep them in the Women's Super League. And let's just have a little chat at them. What's it been like bringing everyone here today?
It's a really good family spirit here. It's really nice to get the flags out and support Leicester. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, too right. Get those flags waving. Come on, we want to see them. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We are getting so close to kick-off. And as you said, the atmosphere is brilliant. It's been getting better and better this season. And hopefully finish it off with a big win today. Back to you, Hannah.
Exciting it is indeed. You can really feel the atmosphere just getting more and more electric here as more and more fans turn up. As it always says, you know, all those flags waving as well. I particularly like that one of our young fans there had a bit of a prediction for a score. 2-1 was the prediction there. How do you feel about that?
I think it's going to be more. I think, you know, Georgia was saying the training's been good in the week. So last time we was here, it was 4. So I think a clean sheet. I would say 3-0 is going to be my prediction.
Georgia?
I've just been telling the girls 3-0, so I'll go with 4 then, because I don't think much is going past Janina Leipzig today. And if it is, it's going to be a worldie, so.
Amazing. So we are thinking that it's going to be quite a high score. Now that we're talking about the goals, one thing I did want to talk about was actually the fact that Leicester, they kind of need to score first, don't they? You know, when they look at the statistics, in general, when they concede the first goal, it hasn't gone so well for them. Whereas when they've scored the first goal, they've actually gone on to win the majority of the games.
Yeah, I think you can look at that 2 ways in terms of the way that the season's gone, and there's probably points where they have been low on confidence. So, you know, when you go a goal behind, you're almost thinking, here we go again. But I think with the confidence that they've accrued with the last couple of wins at home here, even if they do go a goal down, I think they've got enough confidence now to maybe pull that back and enough character within the squad, because of what they've done in the last few weeks.
And because of that home advantage, Georgia, as well, you know, even if they go down, you know, do you think they probably will still think, well, you know, we're still in with a good shout here?
I think as a team, we take a lot of pride of making sure we're putting on performance for the fans, making sure we're doing the club proud and fighting until the last whistle. So I think no matter what the scoreline throughout the game, so I think it will be a good game.
We've talked a lot about Leicester, you know, Leicester statistics and the way that they're looking. In terms of West Ham, they've actually lost 7 out of their last 8 away games as well. So that's something that perhaps might be playing on their mind.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as I said previously, they're in a very, very poor run of form. There's no 2 ways about it. And no, especially when sort of they're losing, there's not many draws in those moments as well in those last 10 games. So, you know, I've been there as a player. It's difficult to be able to try and bring yourself out of that moment. And I think especially, you know, that first goal you're saying for Leicester is crucial. And I think it works the other way for the psychology of West Ham. If they go down, a goal down early, they're probably thinking the same. Here we go again, 11 games without a win.
And it's the last home game as well. Only 1 more match remains after this. So how are they also feeling coming towards the end of the season? Because it's been a bit of a story of ups and downs.
Yeah, I think we're definitely trying to finish on a high. So I think getting this win at King Power today and then hopefully a result in the next game as well, I think we'll leave the season pretty pleased.
Well, of course, there's a lot to play for here. There is plenty to look at in the coming match. There's plenty to look at across the whole weekend, actually, in terms of the Women's Super League. Our commentary team will be Tyler Morris and Chloe Jones, and they'll be taking us through the game all the way through.
Because memories never fade, no matter how long. We'll still remember the moments of excitement and the impressions of Thailand. Amazing Thailand, now even more amazing.
Lamiat is the belief that perfection lies within the details, where the finest ingredients deserve the finest craftsmanship. In every pursuit of perfection, there is passion and perseverance, where attention to detail inspires a masterpiece that's balanced and in harmony. This is the Lamiat philosophy, brewed into every drop of Chang beer. This is the taste of Thai perfection. Chang beer. We brew friendship.
from the start of this game. As you can see, the crowds are there in place and the pitch is getting prepared to perfection. What exactly will be going through the team's minds, Georgia? Because there they are, they're there, they're getting ready to come out on the pitch. Well, actually, a question to both of you. I'm sure people at home will be thinking, what goes through people's minds as they're just about to step on the pitch for a match like this?
We would expect us to be thinking a lot about what the win would mean today, but I think Willie and the staff have done a good job of making us aware that we just need to get the job done. We've won in the Reading game under a lot of pressure. I know there's a lot of pressure on that game, so I think the team's pretty confident and not thinking about that too much until the final whistle goes.
Is that what you're feeling, Courtney? You try to just focus on that performance.
Yeah, exactly. I think you know the importance of the game, obviously, but you try and treat it like any other game. I think quite a lot of footballers are superstitious, so they'll all be going through their different processes, but I think when you start changing things, I think that's when things always, go a little bit awry. So just keep it simple, do the same things that you do every week. And as I say, in the back of their mind, it's an important game, but you just try to do the right things. And hopefully today it will come out with a Leicester win and a really good result.
Well, just minutes away, as I say. So let's pass over to our commentary team, who are going to take you through everything minute by minute.
Nothing at all, no. One.
So there we have it then. You can see some of the crowd there. The flags are waving. It'd be great if we could have a look at some more of these flags, because it's just fantastic, the atmosphere here. It's really building, especially compared to our previous games. It's just been building every time.
Yeah, and I think from what I've seen as well this season, the crowd has steadily got more impressive. And as I said earlier, they're going to play a big part in this game today to make sure that, when the girls are struggling and they're going through difficult moments, that they've got to be behind them to try and push them on. And it always gives you that little bit of extra energy when you know that the crowd are behind you.
Georgia, you're the one that's part of this team. Tell us just what it feels like to step out on this pitch.
Yeah, the pitch is immaculate. You can't get a pitch much better than this. And I don't know the numbers, but since I've been here, I'm pretty sure every home game the crowd's got bigger and bigger. So yeah, today will be special.
Let's look at as well at this setting, because it's so special for the women's team to be able to play here as well. The same setting as the first team as well.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, we were here. I was here many years ago, and we got to play here a few times, on exhibition games and stuff like that at the end of the season. But it was never as consistent as it is now. Obviously, every game. So the fact that the women's team is fully integrated within the men's team, it shows a lot. It's not for me. It's not just about the money with the men's team. It's about the resources and how you're made to feel as part of the club, and playing at the same stadium. I think is a massive part of that.
It must make a big difference, Georgia, to the team.
Yeah, definitely. And especially having the training ground as well. So we have the old men's training ground, so being able to have that and then be able to play our games here as well, it just adds to the whole programme.
And what's it like when you go to the other grounds? You'll obviously love playing here at home, but it's quite different, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think playing here, you can't really beat it in span of the whole crowd.
Well, there we go. Over to our commentary team. As you see, the players are on their way.
One last time in this WSL campaign, the warmest of welcomes to the King Power Stadium on an afternoon where motivation couldn't be any higher, as a win would secure the season-long target of safety in the division. So let's take you through the teams as Leicester look to remain safe in the WSL. They have 3 changes and 2 key changes ahead of goalkeeper Janina Leitzik, as Plumpter and Sophie Howard return to the side. Nevin then pushes out towards left back, meaning CJ Bott is on the right. Ruby Mace also returns to her usual midfield position in the midfield trio or quadruple midfield setup of Tierney, herself, Mace, Jones and Whelan. And finally Simpson and Kane are up top.
And number 26.
And then for West Ham United, Mackenzie Arnold starts in goal. It's Tisiak who made her debut against Chelsea last time out, who continues out in centre-back alongside Fisk, Shimizu and Denton to complete the defence. Snell has come into the side in the deeper part of midfield for West Ham. Brian Justotir plays just behind the striker, which is Asei, who is the top goal scorer for West Ham this season. So alongside me this afternoon, Chloe Jones for co-commentary. Chloe, how are you looking forward to this one?
Oh, I think it's set to be an amazing game. Last time we were here, you know, Leicester finished 4-0 against a strong Liverpool side, and I think to have the penultimate game as a home game and a game that means so much to Leicester, I think it's set up to be a really good occasion today.
And of course, that extra motivation, the fact that Leicester can be safe in the WSL with a win, and potentially with a point. I'm sure it's been spoken about what a point will do as well, but surely they've got to go for that win, particularly in front of the home crowd.
Absolutely, you've got to go for it. You don't play settling for a draw. You go for the win, and if they start anything like they did against that Liverpool side, and if they start on the front foot, so aggressive, high press, I think that will be a hard game for West Ham there. And Leicester City, they've proved to us, they've got some of the players back in action, which is great to see, and they look more of a familiar side today.
So we are almost set and ready for kickoff for one last time at the King Power Stadium in this WSL season. The opposition this afternoon, West Ham, not full of confidence. Leicester will be, particularly with their recent home form, as first both sets of players will take the knee in an act against all kinds of discrimination. And at the moment, it looks like West Ham are trying something that we see from Leicester quite a lot with that early long ball forward. But straight away and straight involved with the action is plumped to in the header on her return.
Yeah, I think for her getting that first win, I think that'll do her the world of good.
And she's there again just to get it down the line for Leicester City.
I think she was definitely missed in the last game, Ashley Plumptre, because, she's been an absolute rock at the back, and one change can make such a difference, and I think it did against their last game.
Calls for handball have been given. Leicester will have themselves the early free kick and a chance just to get themselves settled on the ball now.
Yeah, I think for this Leicester side, yes, they will want to start, really aggressive press, but it's a warm day today. We're not used to that in England recently, so I think it's an energy-sapping pitch, especially with the weather, so they really need to be, give their all. It's high balance, isn't it? They have to give their all, they have to play high-intensity game, but they have to still have some in the tank. But that's where the fans comes in, that's where the spectators come in, the occasion, the environment, and can they keep them going for the full 90 minutes?
It is another really good turnout on the far side of the field. It was West Ham who were looking to turn out into attack if it wasn't for the flag going up on the far side. But they've been up on the right side of the field, West Ham. And on the other side of the field, currently the sprayers are going off, which is just delaying things in terms of the goal kick, something you don't see too often. You were speaking about the pitch before as well. I wonder if they were listening.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before, actually, in the middle of a game. But, I'm sure they'll get it sorted. These things happen, these technical difficulties. We're focusing on a lot of technology at the moment, so, they have to deal with it.
I wonder if there's something in the rules which says that the play has to be stopped.
I think if I was a player, I'd cool off early on.
So an unexpected, that's one way of putting it, early stoppage to proceedings.
I'm sure that's not tactical from Leicester.
So after all the stoppages, it's the players who are having to deal with the issues. They're struggling to do so for now. We were expecting drama on the final home game of the season for Leicester, not this kind of drama.
Yeah, maybe that needs to be part of the training, how to get rid of the sprinklers for the players.
It's good news for the players is that the sun's out, so they'll be able to keep themselves warm. It's going to be interesting to see what that part of the pitch is like, just that small section where the water's just slowly spraying out for now.
Yeah, definitely. It's been in the same place, hasn't it, for a while, but the groundspeople are out. Hopefully trying to fix it, but you know, it's early on, but I think any opportunity throughout the game, it's about keeping hydrated, and the players and the teams are absolutely doing that. And then a few, you know, getting back on the ball just to make sure that, you know, they keep warm, they get ready and stuff, and you know, hopefully we can get started now. All the sprinklers have gone back down.
So in case you forgot, it is a Leicester goal kick. That's where we are resuming. So Janina Leitzik stands over the ball. I must correct myself, it was an offside which led to the stoppage, so a free kick just inside the penalty area as Leipzig goes long for Leicester. And straight away, Leicester could be in behind, and it's Simpson leading the break forward. Really good chance for Leicester from out of nothing, really. Simpson couldn't quite finish and get their second goal for Leicester this season.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity, wasn't it? And, you know, you could see when it opened up, she used her pace and a great opportunity to get in behind. And, you know, that'll give us a lot of confidence, you know, because as an attacker, you want to get the better of the back four, and she certainly did there. So she knows instantly that she's got a lot more pace than they have.
Nevin has a chase on, but a chase she will win. Doesn't make things too easy for a goalkeeper Leipzig, who was cool under pressure. She'll be happy to have a lot more time this time round. It went. Tierney was the target. Sophie Howard will happily see that behind again.
I think I said it a lot last time, but you know, that partnership between Plumptre and Howard, they just look so balanced and relaxed and so natural together, don't they? So instantly, I think that gives Leicester even more confidence today going into the game.
We've already seen glimpses as well of Plumptre on the ball.
Yeah.
Usually you'd expect the partnership in defence for their defensive work to be so important, but the way Leicester play as a whole on the ball, they are so important to the side.
Yeah, and you know, throughout the season, even the games that they've lost, Leicester have played quality football, you know, and they just haven't kind of converted their chances. But I think throughout the season, since Willie Kirk has been, you know, appointed as the head coach, first of all, he made the club super resilient, hard to beat, but then has really focused on the technical ability of each individual player and as a team. And, you know, they play really attractive football, probably some of the best in the league, if I'm honest.
And that has shown, particularly with the recent results at the King Power Stadium. They're looking for their third successive win here. What a way to end the home campaign, at least that would be. But first, they've got some defending to do with this West Ham free kick. This one that was too close to Janina Leitzik, who was always favourite for Leicester. Good work from Carrie Jones just to retain possession for the Foxes. With nothing really on there for Hannah Kane, she's done well to win the corner.
She has, and that's the aggressive press. And you know, Hannah Kane, she could have just let that one go and let the West Ham defender deal with that. But no, she gives her all in every game, and she just forced that corner, which is a great start for her and the team.
The third of 4 goals against Liverpool in the last game at the King Power Stadium was direct from a corner. This time they'll look for the opener with it. Fisk gets it away for West Ham. Leicester first with the second balls. Important to stop a breakaway, but can they get a shot away with Tierney? Kane went for glory, but couldn't find the target.
One thing with this Leicester side, they're very brave, especially in set pieces. You know, they're not afraid to try things that they've done in the training ground and, you know, apply that on the pitch. Throughout the last game, and they just showed there that, you know, they've got all these combinations and options. They don't just, you know, lump the ball into the box. They do things, you know, with purpose, and, you know, you can see the movement off the ball, and that almost worked then.
Mackenzie Arnold just asked her players in front of her just to push up the field before going long. Just too much on it from Brian Stotti to take it down for West Ham. A poor giveaway, but some recovery challenge from Ruby Mace.
And that's how important she is in midfield.
She already seems a lot more comfortable this afternoon than when she did cover it centre-back against Chelsea last time out for Leicester. But both these sides in their last games have had the daunting proposition of Chelsea. Defeats for both Leicester and West Ham coming into this against Chelsea. For West Ham, it's not just that defeat, it's, well, a 9-game run without a win in the WSL. And I think that's what Leicester need to make the most of, particularly early on, perhaps.
Absolutely. I think, you know, as much as it's all about this 90 minutes, of course, both teams of staff, both players, they will know exactly the form of each team, and, you know, where they have probably, you know, vulnerabilities, and they'll play on those, etc. But, you know, you look at most recent form, and you look at, you know, that both teams have had 2 losses, but before that, obviously, Leicester had those 2 wins, which are absolutely paramount to this season, and they will absolutely, they know how they can play, they know how they can perform, and actually how the goals are scored and shared between the team, and that's so vital to maintaining this WSL status.
CJ Butt with this throw for Leicester.
I think you can tell that both teams have started, you know, as a high press, haven't they? Really aggressive, really physical.
Modern Pumas, 2 players were going in on the West Ham number 14, Lestrup. A little bit too much pressure on that occasion for the referee's liking, as Lisa Ben awards the free kick. Denton dispossessed. CJ Bott looking to break away with it for Leicester. She'll keep on going on and on. It was some drive forward. It looks like it has gone out, despite it all breaking down in the arms of Mackenzie Arnold in the end.
Yeah, that was really positive play then, wasn't it, from Bott? And, you know, both fullbacks, I'd like to see both fullbacks for Leicester getting involved higher up the pitch. Today you could tell kind of when they played the Liverpool game, they relaxed, and they, you know, second half especially, they forced their way higher up the pitch, and I'd like to see that from the off today, because that's what makes Leicester so more effective.
That was a nice nod on towards Sasei. It was a challenge from Sophie Howard that she had to get right, and did. There's a face you may recognise. Chesky, the manager of West Ham. Here's Jones. almost for Leicester.
That almost came off, didn't it? And you could see that, you know, Leicester, they're so well drilled. They're really gelled as a team. They don't even have to look. They know where the combinations are. Just a little bit too much on it then.
Leicester weren't happy that that second throw was given to West Ham, but they're quick to get on with things and get back on the possession. This is Denton. And another fantastic challenge. That from Sophie Howard. Jones. Who scored in Leicester's last 2 home games, both against Reading and Liverpool.
I think Leicester at the moment, yes, it's quite, you know, early on in the game, but there's not that many. We're used to seeing a lot more options on the ball from Leicester, and, you know, you could see when Butt had the ball there, she looked up and she had to turn back twice, actually. So I think that's one thing that Leicester, they just need to settle on the ball, get a little bit more movement on the ball just to help support each other. Because this West Ham team aren't giving them a second on the ball.
Here's Asay. Now Leicester will speed things up with Plumter. Kane joining in with the attacking prospects. It's a good drive, this, from Hannah Kane. Could have been a shot, really, from both herself and Tierney. Clearing the danger away for West Ham.
Yeah, I think when Tierney, when she received the ball, it just got slightly caught under her feet, didn't it? So she couldn't get the ball out to be able to get that shot off, hence why she had to play it wide, then to Bott.
Sophie Howard there, yet again for Leicester. Leicester blocking off all kinds of options. Taking West Ham back to the halfway line.
Yeah, I think you can tell already it'll have to be something special from West Ham to break down this back line of Leicester City. They are so, you know, they're always communicating, always organising, and you know, they're leaving no gaps in between or in behind.
Such a say. And the throw goes to City.
I should say back 4, but, you know, actually it's including Ruby May, so it's back 5 technically. You know, she's really paramount in not allowing balls going through the lines and protecting the back 4.
It's going to be an interesting one for offside. The flag did stay down. Kane couldn't quite break away and take things down. Hayashi there for West Ham. That's a nice turn in field. Denton joining in with proceedings as Denton goes on, and the danger after the deflection, which gives the visitors the lead. The most unfortunate of touches, and there was no chance for Leipzig. And with 18 gone on the clock, it's Leicester 0, West Ham 1.
And I think that's the danger, you know, Leicester had the ball in a central position, they committed both full-backs forward, and you have to retain possession in those situations, else, you know, the counter-attack is on for the opposition, and that's what happened there, you know, an unfortunate deflection, but West Ham, they broke really quickly, great play in the midfield to then set off the left-sided player to then obviously put a cross shot into the box, and then, like I say, unfortunately deflected in. But you know, Leicester, they've been very good this season. If they go down, they come back even tougher and even more aggressive and even more committed. So hopefully we'll see a positive reaction from Leicester. But they have to retain the ball better.
Pressing at fist. I guess a good thing from a Leicester point of view is West Ham haven't been leading in a game for so long that it might almost be like a new experience for them, and something that Leicester can try and, I guess, make the most of in terms of getting back into this game.
Absolutely, and you know, as a player, we were always told, and you could always feel that as soon as you score, the 5 minutes after you score are the most vulnerable for yourselves, because you know you're on cloud nine, you're really, really positive, but actually you switch off in those situations. So let's see what happens to this West Ham side, and if Leicester can really punish them in these few minutes.
Leicester having just what they want, a free kick in a dangerous kind of area. It's a dangerous looking ball too. And the referee, after appeals from either side, does award West Ham the goal kick. Howard's trying to make amends for the unkindest of deflections for the West Ham opener.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. She did what she had to do. She had to, you know, delay, protect, but then come out and press at one point, and she made the right decision timing-wise.
Here's Simpson. Tierney now for Leicester. Wasn't too much in terms of options ahead of her. CJ Bott now for Leicester. It will be a corner.
That was better movement from Leicester. You know, when Tierney first had the ball, she had no options forward, so she made the right decision just to keep possession, just to be patient with it, and she absolutely did there. And then a great ball and a great run from Bott, and great defending from West Ham there.
So corner number 2 of the afternoon for the hosts. We saw the variety of corners against Liverpool a couple of weeks ago. Looks like this time they are going to go direct into the West Ham penalty area. It's a dangerous looking ball over everyone, including Mackenzie Arnold, who I think will be relieved to see that no one was on the end of it at the back post.
That was a great delivery, wasn't it, from Nevin? And I think, you know, that's just asking for it to be attacked. And I think one thing Leicester didn't have was a runner coming in late at the back post, but great delivery. And, you know, you could see that there was a little tussle between the goalkeeper and Howard there, and Howard went down in the end. And it actually looked like Leicester were claiming for a penalty, and a foul in there. But, you know, I think it's physical when you get into those tight areas, but a great delivery, and Leicester really should have attacked that.
Hunter will keep it in play. Can't keep the possession. Snell now for West Ham. That's a neat ball in behind. Sophie Howard did get it clear. Couldn't completely stop the danger though. So that was Brian Shastottir picking up the pieces for West Ham. Here's Simpson. Nevin. Really nice from Leicester. CJ Bott's going to go for it. A really nice save from Mackenzie Arnold to deny the Leicester number 4. Would have been her first goal of the season, but a really fine stop.
It was a great stop and, you know, great build-up play from Leicester. I actually thought that Leipzig got rid of the ball far too quickly when their team weren't settled, and actually West Ham won the first ball, but then obviously Leicester won it back and then had great combination through the middle, switch sides, and a great opportunity. I think in that position, but all you want to ask is that she goes to the far post, and she did.
Leicester take the short approach this time. And that time it was a deflection which almost worked in their favour. Mackenzie Arnold being forced into action again in goal for West Ham.
Yeah, that was a good save by Arnold. It could have gone anywhere, couldn't it, when the deflection, but she kept her eye on the ball. But it's a great reaction from Leicester. You know, look at how many chances they've had in the last minute or so, and a great reaction after going 1-0 down.
All they need from this reaction is a goal. And again, they're so close to finding it. Once more, all that was needed was a touch. Great turn away by CJ Bod away from Brian Chestottir. Plumpter. Chase for Tierney. Can't quite get there in time.
I think for Leicester, I think there's a few opportunities there where if they just had a runner, you know, running behind the back line of West Ham, that there would have been space behind.
Too much pressure on Asai, and the free kick goes the way of the West Ham.
I think West Ham, they won't be rushing anything, will they? Even so early on, they will take the time in everything now.
After that win from Spurs against Reading last night, West Ham know that they are safe. Leicester, it's still in their own hands, which is the most important thing, and they are trying to respond to falling behind. Great front foot defending there from Courtney Nevin. Howard. It's a really nice drive in field. Tierney. Will be another corner.
I actually thought if Bott would have tried to do the cross first time, then rather than taking a touch, it would have beaten the West Ham back line. But yeah, nice play. I think one thing I would say to Leicester is, you know, they're utilising the left-hand width quite well. I think for Bott, she's starting quite narrow, and actually she's kind of losing the space. And then when Tierney makes the runs out here, she has to wait for the support to come. So I'd like to see Bott just play a little bit wider and make use of the space on the width, because she's got a great delivery. She's very, very positive in what she does. She's great taking on players 1v1 and creating those overloads, and she's just at the moment just sitting a little bit narrow.
Well, let's see what the delivery is like from the other fullback, Nevin. Once again close to the keeper. Arnold got the all-important touch. Here's Ruby Mace. But will hit it from a long way out. But no positive outcome for Leicester.
Yeah, I like the positive attitude and effort. But I think when Leicester have committed so many players forward, it's utilising them, isn't it?
So it's not been the start he would have hoped for in terms of result. You would say with almost half an hour gone, Leicester have definitely had the majority of the chances. They've probably been the better side overall.
Yeah, definitely.
It's that key moment that's going against them, isn't it?
Definitely is. Leicester have had more of the chances. The ball has been more in the West Ham half, especially in the last kind of 5 or 6 minutes. And there's some really nice build-up play, I think. But for West Ham, they will just they don't care how they play. As long as they've scored and they're going for the win. You can see that they've dropped into kind of a little bit of a back five in these positions, haven't they? Just to try and protect and just to maintain that 1-0.
Tierney's free on this near side. Jones didn't give up on it. And that's why Leicester have this throw. It's well won by Howard. Here's Bott. Nothing around the outside for Mace. Fantastic flick away. Not a bad ball too. And Arnold there again for West Ham. But at the moment it's pretty relentless, this Leicester pressure.
Yeah, great positive play by Ruby Mace in the left-hand side. She's just shown her confidence. She's a very technical player. She's very comfortable with the ball at her feet in tight areas. And, to just make that one touch, I think it was through the legs of the West Ham defender. And then, a great delivery in the box. And it's an attempt on goal. What we want to see now is, as strikers and as forward players to follow up on those chances.
Howard goes long. Tierney. Ashley Plumpter. And just too much on the ball towards Tierney. In most cases, Leicester have been a lot more patient than that. And they'll have to be patient here with the goal kick as the gloves have come up for Mackenzie Arnold in goal. They've been quite important for her in this performance so far with all these Leicester chances.
Yeah, definitely. She's had a good start, hasn't she? She's trying to, set the stanzas of her team and trying to kind of withstand this Leicester pressure, and she's winning that battle at the moment, isn't she? She's been first to everything. She's dealt with everything that Leicester have put towards her.
Mace gets there first for Leicester. This time the throw does go the way of the host.
I think Willie Kirk is generally quite, a calm manager or, head coach for his team. He wants to portray that calmness, but he'll be wanting to get a goal before half-time.
That's what Leicester are trying to do here. Another dangerous-looking ball. but no one on the end of it. That pressure will keep on coming.
That was a great ball, wasn't it? Like an inviting ball across the box, and all you want is just a late run for Leicester just to kind of poke it home, but there was no one in there, was there?
That's a nice take from CJ Bott. Perhaps a rare chance for West Ham to try and break away now. Look how quickly they've got numbers forward. But no matter how many numbers they get forward, Plumpter there first still for Leicester. Was that a foul throw that we've seen? You don't see that too often.
No, you don't anymore, do you? To be honest, it's been a couple of times in this game where I've thought a foul throw.
Maybe it's so uncommon that the referees forget to think about it sometimes. Brilliant take that from Nevin. Simpson will chase. Referee lets it go. This is Tierney. Move does slow down and also come to an end.
Hannah Kane actually made a great run in the box when the break was on, and you know she could have got on in the end if the ball was played in a central position. But great run, great counter attack from Leicester there, and they're showing their speed, they're showing their quality and desire to be first to the ball.
Howard. Just about sneaks its way through towards CJ Bott. That's really good work from Asai, who's really had to get herself involved so far. Down she went and up she goes now, leading this West Ham attack. And causing a little bit of worry for Janina Leitzik. Diving down to her left-hand side. It's the best we've seen from West Ham since their goal quite a while ago.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think Asai, she's a very strong player, powerful player, and you know it's difficult to kind of push off the ball because of her physicalities. But as she's shown there, she's very quick, she's very agile, she can go inside, outside, and you know she's caused Leicester some issues and won a corner for her team.
She is West Ham's top goal scorer this season with 6 goals. The ball goes towards Brian Chescottier, but also towards Janina Leitzik.
You could see what Sam Tierney was trying to do there. She's frustrated with herself. The last couple of passes that she's had, they haven't quite come off, but she just needs to get herself back into the game, do the simple things well. She's a great quality player, and hopefully she can play her way back into the game and not let these little moments bother her too much.
That's fantastic work in there from Whelan. Leicester have had a few of these opportunities from wide free kick situations. It's Kane who will be the latest to take. It's a rather flat delivery, but she'll have another go at it here. And that's floated beautifully towards the back post. Here's Plumpter. And a free kick was given just before the strike in favour of West Ham. Second time round, that delivery was a lot better from Kane.
It actually looked as though it looked like the foul's been given against Sophie Howard, but there was actually 2 West Ham players around her and Sophie Howard, so that's quite unfortunate for Leicester. I think she jumped, you know, she has the opportunity to jump. Of course she's going to attack the ball, and I'm not quite sure whether that was a foul in my opinion.
Nodded on by Brian Shastottir. Well, just been a fortunate breakaway, and this will be interesting for the referee. Snell was driving through for West Ham, and the yellow card shown for Ruby Mace. A foul she probably had to make. Well, there wasn't too much in it on a second viewing.
No, I think it was just a really slight clip on the ankles, maybe just to stop her in her stride. And, you know, as an attacker, of course you're going to go down in those positions. And, you know, for the referee, it's classed as a cynical foul, so of course it has to be a yellow card.
So we spoke about SA's goals in this West Ham side. She'll look to be provider from this Hannah's free kick. It was too close to the Leicester goalkeeper again. Numbers flooding forward for Whelan. Jones. Strong defending in there from Denton.
It's great to see how quickly Leicester can turn kind of a defence into attack, and how quickly they've won a free kick in the final third of the West Ham half.
Here's Jones. Deflection. As West Ham struggling to get it clear for now. Simpson was the latest to get the shot away. Were there complaints of handball perhaps in there? Whelan. Leicester will keep this momentum going with Plumpton. Kane. Kane's going to have a go.
Great pace on the delivery. You know, the cross that she put in just a bit too close to the goalkeeper, but that was a great delivery for a glancing header. You know, I think Leicester in those positions, they have to just commit players forward, even just a few yards forward in front of the West Ham players, get in front of them and make those runs across the goalkeeper, because even if they don't get a touch, it still puts the goalkeeper off and makes her kind of question, you know, where the ball's going to go.
Kane for Simpson. Referee plays advantage. And it was a good advantage because Leicester have this corner again. It's been City dominance up to this point in everything but the scoreline.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what they can do with this corner.
Close to the keeper again, and there was Plumpton, who scored with a header from a corner against Liverpool.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed with that. You know, it had to come through. You know, people in front of her that she probably expected to get the head on it, but you know, of her quality, she'll be really disappointed with that because she got made great contact, just obviously too underneath the ball.
Stotter there first for West Ham. Don't make it easy for the Hammers to clear their lines. Tierney. It's all quite narrow for now. Nevin will go with the early ball towards Simpson. Just couldn't quite connect with the header. And now not the scenes you'd like to see.
Yeah, it was a late coming together, wasn't it, after the contact with the ball. But a great opportunity for Leicester, you know, when Courtney Nevin's got time to make those deliveries from the left-hand side, you know, 9 times out of 10, they're quality, they're in the exact right areas, and they were then. Just a little bit too much on it there. Hopefully these two players are okay, obviously going through the protocols.
So a chance for a mini team talk just before half-time. Don't forget, we're probably expecting quite a bit of stoppage time after the most unlikely of stoppages early on. And I'd imagine that Willie Kirk will be saying to his players more of the same before the end of the first half, and let's just hope we can get that goal.
Definitely, I think, you know, the build-up play for Leicester has been excellent. I think it's just final third, it's been clinical in those positions, and, you know, always making sure that, you know, they're having people in the box, having people to attack the ball in the box. I think the deliveries have been quality. I think the build-up play has been quality. It is just in and around the 18-yard area that Leicester just need to probably improve just a little bit.
So both players are okay, which is the good news. Both Simpson and Parker of West Ham. As there will be 6 minutes at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think that's 5 minutes of those being because of the sprinklers. Well, it gives Leicester another 6 minutes, you know, to try and get a goal before we enter half-time.
Here's Bott. Nevin. We didn't see anything in the challenge, but Leicester straight back on the ball. Mace. Now West Ham will look for this late first half breakaway. Vestrup is going to have a go. A lot of power. Not quite the accuracy.
Yeah, you could see what she was trying to do there, and actually, you know, from looking at it, top right corner, there was space to be able to curl it in, just a little bit too much power, which obviously made the ball just drift slightly away. But, you know, for West Ham, it shows that, you know, when they're allowed to counter-attack, they make the most of it, and there's a lot of gaps in Leicester because they commit so many players forward.
I think Vestrup will be pretty happy with their effort in terms of the fact it's ended up in the stands, and Janina Leitzik has had to climb up into those stands to retrieve the ball, which has just delayed the time again.
Maybe that's what she was aiming for.
It's the West Ham throw given. Jones. Leicester look for a late first half getaway. This is Nevin. It's a nicely timed run from Hannah Kane. And almost nice with the footwork to try and get around Fisk. There's too much on Ruby Mace, and Leicester have the free kick.
Great position for Leicester to have this free kick in the last couple of minutes.
Plumpter has been urged forward for it. She's probably had the biggest of the chances for Leicester in this first half. Fisk gets it away for West Ham. Jones. Some skill as Jones looks to keep on going on and on. And this could be a chance on the edge of the penalty area. And a strike which made things comfortable for Arnold again.
Yeah, that was great skill coming inside, wasn't it, from Jones, and I think she just showed her ability, and then you could see what Whelan was trying to do, just to curl it in the top right corner, but just not enough power on that then. The accuracy was there, but there was just not enough power to get it past the goalkeeper.
West Ham looking for one last first half attack. They'll be able to keep things alive. Hayeshi. It's a great ball into the back post. And a vital touch in there from a Leicester point of view. And Leicester will feel hard done by that they are behind going into half-time. But now perhaps they might feel a little bit happier that it's not two after that chance.
Absolutely, I think, you know, the priority now is to just get into half-time without any changes, if it's, you know, unless it's a positive change in the scoreline, because
there might have been a positive change if it wasn't for that foul. So the yellow card, without a doubt, shown to Parker.
Yeah, I think Hannah Kane's been really lively this first half, and she's been involved in a lot of things that have been good from Leicester, and you know, if there wasn't kind of a foul there, I think Hannah Kane could have been through on goal. I mean, she would have had a long way to go, but she, you know, with her pace and ability, I think she would have had a good chance to get a chance on goal.
So Leicester will have to go long from this free kick. It's towards Sophie Howard, but it's too close to Arnold in what is the last of the first half action. A first half really, in terms of performance, has been all Leicester City. Denton was involved in the goal, but it was the unluckiest of touches off of Sophie Howard, which took it over Leipzig for the West Ham opener. Plumpter has come closest for Leicester in terms of the hosts. For the half-time score is Leicester City 0, West Ham 1.
Because memories never fade, no matter how long. We'll still remember the moments of excitement and the impressions of Thailand. Amazing Thailand, now even more amazing.
Lamiat is the belief that perfection lies within the details, where the finest ingredients deserve the finest craftsmanship. In every pursuit of perfection, there is passion and perseverance, where attention to detail inspires a masterpiece that's balanced and in harmony. This is the Lamiat philosophy, brewed into every drop of Chang beer. This is the taste of Thai perfection. Chang beer. We brew friendship.
Well, it was quite a tricky start to the game, of course, in this first half, as Leicester City women battle West Ham United in this absolutely crucial stage of the season. The score, as it stands, we're 1-0 down. So, you know, there was quite a lot to like about the first half. A lot of chances, but Courtney, how are you feeling about having watched that?
Yeah, I think the score isn't a true reflection of the game. I think the West Ham goal came completely against the run of play. For me, the two areas that Leicester really need to work on are the transitions, because we see in the goal came on a transition, the opportunities that West Ham are having on the transition, and the second phase as well, especially attacking. I think there's been some great balls in the box, there's some great opportunity to attack the ball, but it's that anticipation of the second phase, and when that happens 1-2 times, you're thinking you're just unlucky, but there's been multiple times now where someone takes a chance, if someone throws their body on the line, they've got to tap in. So, you know, all in all, I think Leicester have been the better side, but obviously the scoreline is the most important thing, and they're the two areas for me that they need to work on.
Georgia, quickly let us know how the team are feeling.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we wouldn't want to go into the half 1-0 down, but we know it's a deflection goal. It's not the worldie that I imagined would be the goal that Janine would be beat by, but yeah, we just have to go into the half. It's a new half. We've got 45 minutes to win the game.
Well, let's take a look at some of the chances that Leicester has had, because there were plenty of them.
Yeah, and you know, you've got to be positive about that. And as you see here, going in for a one-on-one chance, I think it's difficult. The defender does well in the sense that gets pushed wide, and I think that's always difficult as a forward. You'd rather be hitting it centrally, but you know, it was a good opportunity early on in the game.
Yeah, you know, there were plenty of good opportunities, and Georgie, you know, taking a look at some of these, actually the opportunities came from a variety of different settings, a variety of different preparations, and unfortunately they just couldn't quite convert them this time.
Yeah, I mean, the formation we're playing today with the 4-4-2 diamond, it gives us a lot of numbers centrally, but then on the transition and going forward, it allows our fullbacks to get higher up the pitch, wider as well, so we have the width from the fullbacks and then a lot of central players through the middle as well.
Plenty more chances for Leicester, though, than for West Ham.
Yeah, definitely, and as I say, though, you're seeing them here, that's a great save, but someone's got to be on the end of that. The previous one where the shot goes in, it gets parried, and it always seems on the second phase at least, that it seems to be falling to a West Ham player. So as I say, 1 or 2 times you can sort of forgive that and put that down to luck, but the more this goes on and the more opportunities that you see happening like that, you've got to maybe question a little bit the anticipation of the second ball. But as I say, you've got to take the positives. I think the fact that Leicester creating so many chances, that they're doing really well. It's just, as I say as well, the balance for me is something that they've got to watch, because they're flooding so many numbers forward, because they're having so much possession, which is great, but there's a few times that they've been caught on the counter, so they just need to be aware of that as well.
And what do you think the strategy will be for going into the second half then, Georgie? You know, because there's quite a lot to take in there. You know, it's not quite worked from a few different places.
Yeah, I don't think it'll change much, to be honest, because I think as the game grew on, I don't think there was that much to want to change. So maybe if it gets towards the end of the game, he might want to throw a few numbers forward more, but other than that, I don't think he'll want to change much.
Well, it's only 1-0 down, all is not lost yet. You know, it could all turn around in the second half. There's been so many chances, and actually it really gives quite a lot of encouragement to think that the team could at least come away with a draw, if not a win.
Yeah, definitely, and I think you see the way West Ham are playing as well. I don't think they've got any intention of trying to really push for the second. Again, they'll take one in the break. But you see, as soon as they scored, the keeper, the defensive line, they're all time wasting it. And I'm not saying anything against that. If that's how they want to try and win the game, then that is sometimes a part of the game that Leicester will have to deal with. But I think the intention for them to maybe get a second, I don't think that's there. So I think in a sense that's a positive for Leicester, because they know that they can really try and push it and keep a lot of possession to try and get the equaliser.
Well, let's just take another look back at that West Ham goal, because here you see where that came from. As you say, not necessarily something we would have expected to see.
No, and I think as I was talking about that second phase, it's a bit of a bobbly ball in terms of initially in the midfield. Again, a West Ham defender seems to come out with it. It's not bad play from here, it's direct, and this is probably a cross. You see she looks up across the goal. It's unfortunate it takes the deflection. It's definitely not a shot by any stretch of the imagination, and to say it's really unfortunate because it then nestles in that top corner, and the keeper's got no chance with that.
Yeah, I think it looked like it really, as you say, took Janina Leipzig a little bit by surprise there, which isn't really something that we've come to expect, Georgia.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously from the cross, you'd expect us to deal with that as well. So Janina's never expecting that to come towards her, and well, neither is the West Ham player either. So yeah, caught her by surprise. She can't do anything about that, unfortunately.
I mean, having said that, she has actually made some great saves already this game. So again, still gives the confidence there. It was just unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. I think on the counter, even if we're throwing more numbers forward, you can always count on Janina to be there at the back on the transition.
Well, we're saying that, Leicester City did, of course, have more chances than West Ham, but there were a few of the West Ham chances as well. Here's where they were pressing forward.
Yeah, and I think there's just a few opportunities there. If you just before that, I think Leicester had the ball, and this was not long after the goal, and I just think they're at 6s and 7s for a bit. Probably didn't expect to go behind in the way they did, having such a positive start. And there were 5 or so minutes where Leicester struggled, as you say, with the high press or giving the ball away. But I think, all in all, they've really limited West Ham to only a few chances and chances that the Leicester back line and the goalkeeper that they'll feel comfortable with, and you're expecting to save, which had done really well.
Yeah, the action was very much in the Leicester half, wasn't it? There weren't too many dangers for Janina Leipzig to save, but that's also part of the strategy and definitely something we'll see going forward into the second half.
Yeah, definitely. We'll want to keep the ball in their half, create as many good chances as we can, and then hopefully take one away. Once we get one, the momentum will be on our side. Once we get one, we'll get another one.
As you were saying earlier, one goal comes and another one tends to come along with it. But that's the hope anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I agree with Georgia in terms of the second half. They just need to do more of the same. It's being a bit more clinical in those areas when they get there. But I don't think initially there's too much to change from Willie Kirk. The messages in games like this is normally 10-15 minutes, see what you can do, and then he might have to change it after that. But I'm confident enough in the performance that I've seen already that Leicester will get themselves back into this game.
Well, we here are feeling quite confident about the fact that Leicester could get back in the game, get back in and potentially come away with a win, if not a draw. Lewis is in the stands with some of the fans to get their reaction and see how they're feeling after the first half.
Yeah, big second half ahead for Willie Kirk's side. Of course, Courtney says maybe not too many changes needed. They just need to keep going. I'm delighted to be joined by Derek and Millie, who've been watching on. Derek, let's start. What were your first thoughts?
First thoughts, I think that the score doesn't really portray what's happening on the pitch. I think Leicester have been the better team by far. The West Ham goal was just a lucky deflection for them as such. It wasn't really even a shot on goal. I think it could have been saved if it weren't for the deflection, but Leicester have had plenty of chances. They seem to be putting them under pressure, so you never know.
Of course, Millie, a win will make sure that Leicester are safe for another season in the Women's Super League. What makes you think they can do it in the second half?
They just need to score more and make sure they don't pass it backwards, and they need to make sure they don't make silly mistakes.
So we're going for some attacking play, yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely, and you can see Leicester at the King Power Stadium have done really well. The last couple of games, big wins here. That's going to give them a bit more confidence as well.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, we were here for the Liverpool game at home, and that was a cracking game. I mean, we could do with that result today, to be honest. But yeah, if they keep pushing, keep attacking, then I can see them doing it.
Big second half ahead here at King Power Stadium. Will Leicester City get back into it? The fans are hopeful. Back to you, Hannah.
Great to see that hope and the encouragement from the fans as well. Of course, as we've said before, it means so much to the players. Another thing that we wanted to bring you was a little look at our official podcast called The Place. We caught up with former striker Ivan Roberts, who told us a little bit about how his footballing career led him to train with Sir Elton John.
Did you ever meet Elton John, by the way?
We a few times. We went to before every start of the season. He had this massive house in Windsor, and he'd have a party. All the staff. I mean, it's not like football clubs now where there's staff everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It was like maybe a couple of hundred with the players and their families, and he'd put this big marquee, and there'd always be a theme to it. That the people serving the food and the drinks would all get dressed up. And he had, do you remember is it Sinclair C5s?
Yeah.
He had about 7 of them.
Right.
And he had a little sort of yeah, the lads were loving it, honestly, racing each other in these Sinclair C5s. He took us to, I think it was a season Graham Taylor left. I think it was my second season. We were due to go to China on an end of season tour. And obviously Graham went to Villa, so we didn't have a manager to take us. It's a great, Elton John went, well, I'll take the lads. So there was him and his what was his agent called? John Reed. Yeah, John Reed. So there's him and John Reed. I think there must have been maybe Steve Harrison or John Ward overseeing everything. But the first training session we had,
Elton John.
Yeah,
his tracksuit and all that.
No, he had these massive like boiler suits that he used to travel around in, and the cases that he used to bring. Oh my! He had a case for his glasses, case for his hats. But such a nice man. Anyway, the first training session we had.
He didn't take it.
No, he joined in. So he's running around in this massive boiler suit with one of his hats on, with his sunglasses on, and someone sort of didn't put quite enough on the pass to him. Tim Sherwood's gone straight through him. Oh my God. I swear to God, he's gone straight through him. He's gone up, he's limping. I'm all right. And Billy, the physio, I can't remember what his second name was. I don't know. He's come on and said, listen, you better come off. Chairman, you better come off.
Chairman, yeah.
But he bought us all a little Ming vase, all the squad, and still Mum's got it in her house. It'd be worth a few quid now.
He didn't sing any songs to you.
He did. Oh, yeah. There's
you know, like he
yeah. We were
in this song, changing the words.
We were in this hotel, and they had a piano bar upstairs. So one night we're in there, and he's singing all these songs. We're all sat round in a little semicircle. Anyway, Joe Publix walked in, didn't he? And he's tapped someone on the shoulder. He's gone, Elton John, Watford Football Club. I don't, we know we're the players, you egg. So, and it's not nowadays. You just have your camera phone, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So he's gone out, gone back to his room. Got his big old camera, and he's in that much of a rush, and they had like sliding doors. So he's running back towards the room, didn't realise that someone had closed the doors and gone bang! We saw him the next day, his nose was all over his face, he had 2 black eyes. But yeah, he sang us a few songs, gave us our own little personal concert, bless him.
You and my brother, you are. He didn't sing that.
I didn't have my eyes, that's lost on me, I tell you.
Well, plenty to take in there, of course, from Ivan Roberts. Of course, you can catch all of that on lcfc.com. But here, the task of the day is for LCFC women's team. We are, of course, here for this match against West Ham. We're coming into the second half, and there's plenty to look at already, plenty of chances, and we're feeling confident.
Yeah, look, I think, Leicester, they've come out early, they're ready to go. As I say, I don't think there's too much to change aside putting the ball in the back of the net.
So let's have a look then at the season standings, because we had another game earlier on today. Of course, Brighton, who are quite close to Leicester, they're now sitting in 10th place. However, they did lose earlier. So, Georgia, that's quite crucial in terms of the context of the overall season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're aware of the table, but we've left it in our own hands. So as long as we do our job, the rest of the table doesn't really matter to us.
So a win here, as you can see, would be pretty crucial. But there are some tough games ahead for some of the teams that surround Leicester as well. But what we also must go back to the game, back over to our commentary team, who will take you through every minute.
So all set and ready for the second half, which Leicester will get us underway for. Of course, being a goal down going into this second half, the motivation doesn't go because a point does so much. But I'm sure even with the performance, despite the scoreline, Leicester will be going for all three still.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's 45 minutes left of this game. I think Leicester have got are more than capable at pulling one back and, you know, even more. I think they can go for the win. I think they're fit enough, they're technical enough, they've got the ability. They just need to put it into practice now and apply themselves.
So there were no changes for either side going into this second half.
I think for Leicester, as we say, I think this half, I think, you know, Willie Kirk at half-time, I'm sure that he'll be saying to his team that, you know, great build-up play is what we discussed, but in the final third we have got to be better, we have got to have better movement, we've got to be more positive and aggressive in our movement, because there's been great deliveries across the box and in really dangerous areas, but there's no one being there to get on the end of it for Leicester, so he'll want more kind of players in the box this half, I'm sure.
So Fisk goes long down the line. Mace for Leicester. Three players around Snurl, and Leicester do win it back. Here's Plumpter. Howard will have to get there first. And I think we'll see a lot of this in the second 45 from West Ham. Trying to run the clock down at every moment possible.
They will, and you can't blame him. I think it's up to Leicester to, again, like I said, keep possession of the ball a little bit better, and, you know, as soon as the ball gets off, even if it's not their ball, be the first to go and get it back on the pitch as quickly as possible, because, you know, it's Leicester's time now. It's Leicester's time that they can't afford to lose any seconds.
Plumpter gets it away. Wasn't as far as she wanted. Fisk. As it's given away. And this is Kane now for Leicester. First break forward of the second half. She wants a foul. She won't get it.
Yeah, that looked like quite a fair tackle, actually, well-timed tackle.
Howard. Strong play.
I like that from Ruby Mace. So, you know, getting the ball down, playing as quickly as possible. Don't let West Ham have the time to settle. I think Leicester have got to start moving the ball a lot quicker. As you know, you can see players, they're getting into good spaces, but players are hanging onto the ball just a little too long. So, you know, 1 and 2 touches, let's get the ball moving and get this West Ham team moving around the pitch and stretching them.
Slowly creeping forward for now, Leicester City. This is Bott. Again, no foul, and West Ham will get the throw.
As we said, it's good defending from Leicester, but I think they want to keep it on the pitch as much as possible, not clearing it off the pitch.
They're not quite listening to you at the moment.
They're not. Maybe I should speak a little louder.
Here's Asai Really nice work. It was until the pass, although free kick is given in favour of the West Ham number 26.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of frustration from Leicester, isn't it, in this first few minutes of the second half. And I think, you know, the West Ham game that they're playing, they're trying to break up play, they're trying to just, you know, make it really difficult for Leicester, taking the time with anything. And I think Leicester need to rise above that, you know, because don't bite, you know, anything from a behind tackle is always going to be a free kick, it's always going to be a foul. So I think Leicester, they just need to withstand this pressure a little bit now. Good secure from Leipzig, and then obviously good play. It's how quickly they then can play. And you know, just seeing, we're used to Leicester playing forward and trying to turn forward, but they've turned back so many times today.
They are getting it forward now with Tierney. Just over 5 minutes gone of the second half. There could be some real danger here. Wheeling trying to keep things alive, and too much on the volley from Ruby Mace. No real connection, but good again from Leicester.
Yeah, to be fair to West Ham, they do get bodies, you know, back in really quickly, don't they? You know, their transition out of possession, their runs, you know, to get behind the ball, to get really close to the Leicester players, it's been really good. And now I think, as I mentioned earlier, Leicester, it's just a bit of frustration now. They're trying to, you know, go through players rather than trying to move the West Ham defence, and that's something that they really do need to do better this second half.
Mace there, not once but twice for Leicester. Simpson went early towards Kane. And when she does take it down, the flag is up. And again, that will just give West Ham the opportunity to slow things down. 7 minutes gone into the second 45.
Yes, it will. And look, you know, look how slowly Arnold's moving the ball to take this free kick.
Kane will chase. Let's have a throw. See that now for the third time this afternoon. Foul throw, and we've just been speaking about how West Ham want to slow things down. That's the last thing you want to be handing to them. Hayeshi for West Ham. Free kick given to the Hammers. I think it was smart play, wasn't it, from the number 3, Shimizu.
Oh, definitely. I think she used her experience there. She knew she was going to get contact, and you know, it's good movement to let the ball, you know, go across the body to move forward. But yeah, she used her experience there. And I think, you know, for Leicester, for Nevin, she'll be frustrated because, you know, it's, you know, as a player, don't dive in and, you know, stand up play. But they're so eager to get the ball back, Leicester, which is a great thing to do. I think it's just those little moments where they need to just show a little bit more experience.
An allocation from Ruby Mace. West Ham will have the throw. Plumped. fantastic flick on from Carrie Jones. Doesn't quite work out for Leicester. Brian Shistottir. And Shimizu, after the deflection, does win West Ham the corner.
It was good pressure from Simpson then, you know, unfortunate to give away, you know, a corner for West Ham, but great pressure. She's been everywhere out of possession. She's worked so hard for her team to win the ball back. It's just, you know, Leicester, they work so hard to win the ball back, but then they're really struggling to retain it a lot of the times this game.
It's in from Snurl towards that back post. This is dangerous for West Ham. Anywhere will do for Leicester. Well, it's coming straight back towards them. The flag's up, despite Plumpter being able to nod it away. But again, no delay in the free kick for Leicester. Also no accuracy on this occasion. Asai lays it off, and Asai gets it back. Once again, it was Plumpter there for Leicester. They've just switched off the last few minutes or so. Snell skipping around the outside. It will be a West Ham free kick.
Yeah, Leicester have been their own downfall at the moment, aren't they? Giving away cheap free kicks, you know, not keeping possession of the ball, giving it away far too easily. I think Leicester, you know, they just need to settle. Yes, they are so eager, but there's still a lot of game time left, and they just need to settle and continue what they were doing first half because it was working. Other than scoring a goal, they were the better team, whereas coming out this second half, West Ham are now the better team and have been for the last 10 or 11 minutes.
Leicester will hope that they don't fall further behind. Jones will help it on away. Hayashi now for West Ham. Great defensive work in there from Carrie Jones. Evan was free for a while on this near side, and here she is. Well taken down by Kane. All of a sudden, a lot of room for Brian Shistottir. Wasn't on the same page as Asai. Nice work from Leipzig to return it to Plumpter. Again, doesn't work out for Leicester. Here's Fisk. Oh, and Shimizu could break away now for West Ham. There were appeals for handball, and it's given. Another deflection off of Sophie Howard, this time with the arm. A little bit of a delay, and then the referee does point to the spot.
Yeah, I actually thought, you know, it was good. It was good play from the referee initially to allow the advantage because it looked like it was a foul down here. But yeah, I think the referee, she took her time, didn't she, to make the decision. But it did look like, you know, it hit the arm.
So it's the captain, Brian Shistottir, who scored from the spot against Birmingham City in a cup game back in November. She has 5 goals in the WSL this season. And now she has 6. As it's West Ham who get their second of the afternoon. Right on the hour mark. And it's double trouble for Leicester, who have half an hour to try and get themselves back into this now.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, they're more than capable. I think at the moment they're allowing frustrations to really to really get involved. And you know, I'm not surprised that they're making a change now.
So O'Brien coming on for Leicester. She got minutes for the first time in 4 months after injury against Chelsea just over a week ago.
And they've really missed Shannon O'Brien, and you know, she's such a quality player, and since she's had her injury, it's great to see that she got minutes last week and that she's getting a few more today, because she's an absolutely pivotal player and hopefully can make a difference to this game today, because they certainly need something to shake Leicester up. You could see the frustration setting in, even with each other, which we haven't seen that much this season, but I think it just shows how much they want this today. And you know, again, it's just shown a little bit too much of eagerness. And again, that's a good example. And I think West Ham, they're showing great game management. They're showing, you know, real experience. They've got a lot of experienced players on the pitch that have been, you know, involved in the game. And you know, this Leicester team, they're quite a young team, but you know, they're a young team, but you know, they're in the WSL. You expect that they should have the experience to be able to deal with these situations.
So long from Arnold. But they're chasing in numbers still. They're not giving this up yet with just under half an hour to go. Asseyi now for West Ham. Tierney. Here's Kane. Tad isolated at the moment. Shea gets it away, and as far as Tierney trying to drive through, and so close for Leicester. The crossbar denies them, and denies Whelan from getting Leicester back into the game.
Yeah, she got a shot off there from nothing, didn't she? She just had one opportunity, couldn't keep it down, but you know, it's won a corner. But you know, again, since Shannon O'Brien's come on, you know, as soon as she's involved, she makes a real difference. And Sam Tierney, you know, wiggling her way through that defensive line. That's what we need to see more of her doing, those things. Because at the moment she's out too wide for me. I think get closer to the midfield, get closer to her teammates to be able to have more of an impact.
Just too high for O'Brien there. Here is Whelan. Can Leicester get that shot away? Same again with the corner now. It's almost like the West Ham second goal has sparked Leicester back into life.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it has, and let's see if it's a training ground move from Leicester.
Mace stands over it for now. Close to Arnold, too close to Arnold. And I think we're seeing the difference between Leicester and West Ham in this game. Leipzig always eager to throw that out straight away. Arnold will just hang on to it for a little bit longer, understandably, for West Ham. Here's Plumter. Brian Shastoti taken off of it by Whelan. Bot was tussled to the ground by Asseyi.
She was. We know how strong Asseyi is, but I think Bot did a good job there, just to kind of allow some pressure, and then obviously to go down as soon as she felt contact, because it was a risky position because of how quick and how physical Asseyi is.
They'll be disappointed with that, Leicester. Allowing Arnold the opportunity to relax in the sun.
Yeah, when you commit so many players forward, and you know, Ruben May, she's normally, her delivery is excellent, and you know, you commit so many, and then just go straight through to the goalkeeper.
This could be a chance for Leicester. No goal, but it will be a corner. And it goes from Kane. Disappointing ball, but it's still alive here. Catching practice from Arnold.
Yeah, I think Leicester, they'll want to make sure that they win this first ball now.
So there will be a stoppage in the middle of the park. I think it's Parker who's down. She had a knock in the head in the first half too.
And I think this is a great opportunity for Willie Kirk to get his team back in. You know, they've got just under 30 minutes to go, more than ample time to get his team back into this game. So I think actually, you know, as much as it's a West Ham player that's gone down, I think for Leicester City this is a great opportunity just to have a little bit of another talk and, you know, reorganising to get people back on the same page.
Good news is that everyone is okay, so we will be able to resume now. And we will continue with the drop ball. Down to Plumpter. So a big last quarter of the contest that we're entering. O'Brien tussling away, flags up though.
That looked really close, but yeah, yet again, good line from West Ham.
Here's O'Brien. Nevin tried anything to keep Leicester on the ball. They briefly had it with Plumpter. Shimizu.
You can see the confidence that West Ham now seem to have, can't you? You know, those 2 goals have made a massive difference to their performance, how they're playing. First half, you know, they didn't really put many passes together. And this half, you know, you can see that their confidence is rising. They're, you know, pinging the ball around. They're finding each other. And I think more importantly for them, when Leicester do have the ball, they have a thirst to everything. Which we're used to saying that about the Leicester side, aren't we? It seems to have flipped recently.
Not many options for Shimizu. There's a cute throw around the outside, but Leicester do have it back. Tierney. O'Brien's making the move ahead of CJ Bott here. Jones. And Tierney ran into trouble. Ran into Brian Chistotti. Some challenge. Leipzig. Nice little ball looking for Kane, and Kane's going to get there first. Down she went on the edge of the penalty area. I think it's going to be more than a free kick. There's the yellow card for Fisk.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that she couldn't have just kept herself up, because I think she could have reached the ball then, but yeah, she got dragged down by Fisk. But a great central opportunity for Leicester.
We haven't seen, really, in many games recently, free kicks in this kind of position for Leicester. At the moment, it looks like Kane who's standing over it.
Yeah, and I think these are the hardest ones to do, to be honest, because they're so central, and obviously you need to get them up and over and back down over the wall. So, you know, Hannah Kane's ability, she's more than good enough to do this, but it's about relaxing. It's not really about power, it's about more accuracy.
So we're just under 20 minutes to go. It's Hannah Kane to try and get Leicester back into the contest. Didn't beat the wall. Got back in for Plumpter. Here's Nevin. And there's Plumpter again. And all that was needed was the decisive touch at the back post. And it's another chance that goes begging for Leicester. So here come some changes for the visitors. West Ham. It's Longhurst who's coming on in one of those changes.
Yeah, I think as we mentioned earlier, two of these players, if you look at for West Ham, you look at Lisa Evans and Katie Longhurst, they've been in the WSL for so many years now. They come with vast experience, and I think this is something that West Ham will look forward. And I think it looks like Leicester are going to make a change as well. It looks like a positive one.
So that's something pushed off by Whelan. So Evans, Longhurst and Sissoko all on for West Ham. CJ Bott comes off for Leicester. And it's Missy Goodwin who is on to replace her. She scored a late goal, the last of the goals against Liverpool. So look to try and help open Leicester's account this afternoon.
Yeah, I wonder if Leicester will revert to a three at the back and potentially go for wing backs. We'll see what they do here.
Here is Goodwin, straight involved. Shimizu there first for West Ham. Jones winning it back in a promising position. There's an option around the outside. Here is the chance. And a chance that goes begging again. The best moment of the second half for Leicester, and O'Brien couldn't quite finish.
Yeah, I think anything cross goal there, I think that would have gone in. I think she went for the close corner. Yeah, the greatest chance of the game for Leicester. And want to be, you know, if that was converted, that would have really changed this second half. But they've created the opportunity, they've created the chance. I'm sure they'll create many more. As you can see, the West Ham, they've gone very defensive now. It looks like they've got two pivot holding midfielders in just to secure. So I think Leicester will try and have to commit even more forward now, just to be, you know, just to cause this West Ham team even more problems. that could have been the chance, couldn't it? And, you know, Shannon O'Brien, I think, well, I'm not saying she's fully fit, but a fully confident Shannon O'Brien, I think she would have put that chance away earlier on this season. But, you know, she's just coming back from injury. You are a bit rusty, you're a bit low on confidence, etc. But great run from her. I think if she'll learn from that, and she'll be disappointed with that. But if she gets the opportunity again, I'm sure she'll put it away.
So there is 15 minutes of normal time to go. But the amount of stoppages like this one, I'm sure we'll see some lengthy stoppage time like what we did in the first half. Of course, Leicester know if they are to get a goal at any point, really, it will really change things up and make West Ham have to really think.
Definitely. I think the one thing for West Ham, because they have gone more defensive, they probably will go play a little bit deeper, which will invite Leicester to go forward. And I think Leicester really need to make the most of that.
Arnold goes long for West Ham. And the throw goes the way of Leicester. Say is back on the field again. Plumped up. A really strong challenge, a fair one by Longhurst.
Yeah, she's done those type of challenges, fair challenges, but firm challenges for all her career. She's very physical in what she does. It looks like she might have hurt herself in that challenge.
Never a good sign for a player who's just come onto the field. Nodded on by Mace. Leicester will keep on pressing despite giving it away. This is Ruby Mace. They got the reaction from the crowd, the skill, but hasn't quite taken Leicester anywhere. Mace has done really well to hang on to things. Jones. It's a fantastic drive around the outside from Chloe Jones. Ran into trouble and ran into Sissoko.
Yeah, good defending there from Sissoko, but yeah, I think Carrie Jones has been very lively all game. I think she's worked so hard for her team, and you know, they're showing her skill, showing her agility, and being able to go past players. It's just, you know, she needs to head up and then try and get it in the box as soon as possible.
Not the pass Kane would have wanted. West Ham are just over 10 minutes away from their first win since the end of December against Spurs, which is who they face on the last day of the WSL season. I mentioned before they've already confirmed safety, but a win here will confirm a finish above Leicester in the table too. Leicester are going to try and do everything in the last 10 minutes to stop that.
Yeah, and I think for this West Ham team, you know, some teams would have, you know, used this opportunity to play some of their younger players and things, but I think because they've had such a bad run in recent weeks and months, I think today was a really good opportunity for West Ham to try and get a positive outcome, and to be honest, it probably shocked this Leicester team.
Here's Shimizu. Great challenge in there from Nevin. Here's Missy Goodwin. She was there for West Ham. She has it again. Jones. Sending it early towards Hannah Kane. And not the delivery she would have wanted. Too much on it from O'Brien.
Yeah, it was a great run for O'Brien though. You know, she really got her head down and, you know, used their pace to get in the box, which is something that we didn't see as much of first half. But yeah, just the ball let Hannah Kane down there.
She getting the touch in there for West Ham, only finding Whelan. Ruby Mace. And it was calm defending from Fisk. It was, believe it or not, the first touch for Evans. After maybe, was it about 5 minutes since coming on the field? Tierney. This is Plumpter. Nevin will deliver. Plumpter again. At the moment, West Ham not allowing any gap for Leicester to try and find. But there are gaps now, as Osei brings it forward for the Hammers. Osei has options. One of those is Longhurst. She'll let it run for Evans. I don't think the Leicester players or fans will be happy with the decision as the free kick goes the way of West Ham.
No, and again, that's Katie Longhurst using her experience there. She knew that Nevin was right behind her and then using that.
Substitution for West Ham United coming off.
There is another change for West Ham. Denton was involved in the first goal. She's making way.
Being replaced by number 2, Kirsty Smith.
And on comes Smith now for West Ham. Quite a like-for-like change. Shimizu. Kane does well just to read the situation. It's probably the mature decision for West Ham not to go for goal from the free kick, but they also didn't keep it for too long. Has ended how they would have wanted with the throw, though.
Yeah, they'll probably try and keep it in the corner now.
That will be a Leicester throw this time.
And Leicester need to do the opposite, get it up the pitch as quickly as possible. At the moment, Pimble on the near side, as I say,
takes it down. Might have been a shove in there from Whelan, which is why the free kick goes the way of West Ham. Although, in saying that, was it obstruction perhaps? Is that why the free kick's actually gone to Leicester?
Yeah, it looks like it. They're running out of time, Leicester. You know, we're trying to, in my head, I'm trying to willing them to go forward.
Not giving up yet, as there's O'Brien. Down she goes. This will be a free kick for Leicester.
That's good from Ashley Plump to, you know, she was the first one to react, get the ball as quickly as possible, get in a position, and now obviously she's committed herself forward. Now she wants to get this goal for her team.
Was a yellow card shown as well for Longhurst. Are we at that stage now where this might just have to be a goal for Leicester?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it goes close towards Arnold, and she's done well.
Yeah, she's claimed that really well. And that's what you want from your goalkeeper, just to settle, take her time now. She'll use as much time as she can here.
The arm from Plumpter perhaps, and any excuse to tick the clock down.
Yeah, absolutely at this time, and you know, they, like I said earlier, they've lost 7 out of their last 8 away games. This is huge for those, you know, as much as it won't really do much to the league standings, it, you know, it just, they finished the season off strongly in a good position. But yeah, I think Leicester today, you know, they've had really good build-up play. I think first half they were the better team. Unfortunate to go in at 1-0 down. Second half, I expected a reaction. I expected them to come out of the, you know, a lot quicker, which actually I think they've done the opposite. You know, they've allowed West Ham to build in confidence, to, you know, to gel as a team. Obviously get the second goal, and they've been the team to take that step forward. Whereas I think, yeah, Leicester, I think. The final ball hasn't been great at times in the second half. You know, they haven't committed enough players forward, and they just seem to not be as connected as they normally are.
Has been a game of such unfortunate moments as well. If you think of the chances Leicester have had and haven't been able to put away, and of course the 2 West Ham goals, 2 deflections really, one to take it directly in and one to give West Ham the penalty.
Yeah.
Whelan. That was well dealt with by Fisk of West Ham.
And I think it's those moments, I mean, fingers crossed, as it builds up.
O'Brien trying to work some kind of crossing angle. There's Missy Goodwin.
Just coming away from it, but you know, fingers crossed Leicester do secure status, you know, WSL status for next year. They will have learnt a heck of a lot from this season, and you know what's worked well, you know how they can make that next step, because they do not want to be next. They do not want to be in this position next season. They want to, you know, be secure, almost aim for mid-table. So you know, let's see what the recruitment's like. Let's see what's, you know, Willie Kirk. He's got a really stable team here, so fingers crossed they can stay up, and then they can build on what they've achieved and learned from this year.
Of course, it's never easy taking over when on a team that's in such a difficult position. They were on 0 points when he took over. Willie Kirk, he's done so well to get them outside that bottom position.
He has. He's done a great job, and it's great, you know, that they were able to. Obviously, he already worked within the club, you know, before so he knew the players. He knew what he wanted from, or what he could expect from the team, and how he could help to improve, and he has vastly.
The fourth official has indicated a minimum of 9 minutes added time to be played.
Well, that's enough time.
You can hear the crowd's reaction, that's for sure. They're still believing in this Leicester side. No one would have expected the comeback in the table that we've seen from Leicester. Can we see a comeback on the field this afternoon? As Kane was trying to have a swing at things. Here's Jones. That was a nice turn away from danger. Goodwin goes down. There was hesitation. The free kick goes the way of Leicester. The pressure will keep on coming.
Hannah Kane just needs to keep it away from Arnold with this delivery.
She's done that. So there's the second ball back in. Anywhere will do for West Ham. Leicester being urged on again. And that will be a corner from out of nothing. Just what Leicester need. And there'll be no delay in this one. In from Kane. And Howard rises. Punter doing well to get back for Leicester. She can't stop there. She's going to have to get the ball for West Ham as well.
Yeah, yet again, West Ham just wasting a little more time. Really vital few seconds that they can absorb, you know, using the time before they take this throw. Leicester just need to keep the ball on the pitch. We've said it a number of times.
At least in this situation, they'll be able to get on with it quickly. So here's Missy Goodwin. West Ham staying organised. Tierney. Just too rushed from the number 3.
Yeah, I think that for Leicester there's been moments, hasn't there? There just hasn't been enough of those moments today.
Here come West Ham, and that's what they will want. Longhurst down. In fact, it was Smith, and she's going to remain down for a little bit longer.
That's a red card.
Was it a red card there?
Yeah, second yellow for Mace.
Not the way that an already fairly difficult afternoon for Leicester would have wanted to end. So Ruby Mace off. That means she'll be suspended as well for the final day game against Brighton. And of course, being on loan from Manchester City might just be her last showing for Leicester.
Yeah, that's not how she would have wanted to end the season. Ruby Mace, I think she's been brilliant this season. And I think West Ham, they're trying to waste even more time by making this substitution.
Nope, they're not going to be allowed. They took too long.
Substitution for West Ham United coming off is number 26.
So here it comes now. Meluai will come on for the Hammers for the last 4 minutes or so. Something's just going on off picture. Some kind of disagreement between O'Brien and Osei. I think just too slow from Osei in terms of coming off for Whelan's liking.
Yeah, I think she was going to walk to the centre of the pitch, wasn't she, rather than going off at the quickest and shortest route.
Leicester will have the throw. Plumpter. So the sun's come out. Can Leicester find a bright end to proceedings? With Brighton still to come on the last day. Here's Nevin. Sends the ball in early. And that's really been the case in the second half. Everything seems to just fizzle out.
Yeah, as much as there's been a lot of deliveries, you know, we've had a range of high quality ones. All those that are, you know, a delivery like that, you want it to be in front so you can run onto it, and some of them have just been behind.
Ball does go out. It will be the Leicester throw. And now more than that, a Leicester free kick. And this will go towards the penalty area, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're committing everyone, aren't they? Other than the goalkeeper.
So 1 more minute to go. Oh, as Arnold went for it, and that should be a Leicester penalty, and it will be. Well, so many of those free kicks have been so comfortable for the goalkeeper, Arnold. She made a hash of it that time round.
Yeah, she came out a long way, didn't she, to come and claim that.
Whelan was straight back up to her feet once the penalty was given. They're going to have to be quick. They're going to have to score. But is there to be a dramatic end at the King Power Stadium? As from the spot, Hannah Kane scores. And Leicester have maybe 30 seconds or so, despite being down to 10, to try and get something out of this game in what could be a big finish. Her second goal of the season in the WSL, sending Arnold the wrong way.
Yeah, it was well converted, wasn't it, from Hannah Kane? You know, we watched the replay there of Arnold and giving away the penalty. She came out a long way. I don't know why she went in that area to try and claim that ball. But we won't mind for Leicester.
Here's Tierney. As Leicester being urged forward. They'll only get one last chance. This is Nevin. Long from Nevin. Tierney picking up the pieces. And it goes towards Kane. And Missy Goodwin will try and get there. But this time it does break towards Arnold. And that might just be that as we hit 100 minutes. Almost that big unexpected ending.
Yeah, just a little too late, wasn't it, for Leicester?
As long from Arnold. The referee has had a look at the watch. Whelan, and there won't be time for one last break forward. That is that in terms of WSL football at the King Power Stadium this season. Not the way Leicester would have wanted to end the home campaign after 3 unbeaten and 2 wins in a row here at the King Power. Kane got a goal, but it wasn't enough so late into stoppage time. But it was a consolation and what's been a difficult afternoon. A penalty from Brian Chistottier turned out to be the winner. That was all after the unluckiest of deflections of Sophie Howard to give West Ham the lead. But the full-time score here at the King Power Stadium is Leicester City 1, West Ham 2.
Because memories never fade, no matter how long. We'll still remember the moments of excitement and the impressions of Thailand. Amazing Thailand, now even more amazing.
Lamiat is the belief that perfection lies within the details, where the finest ingredients deserve the finest craftsmanship. In every pursuit of perfection, there is passion and perseverance, where attention to detail inspires a masterpiece that's balanced and in harmony. This is the Lamiat philosophy, brewed into every drop of Chang beer. This is the taste of Thai perfection. Chang beer. We brew friendship.
Well, we come back after the second half. Of course, Leicester City women faced up against West Ham, and it wasn't necessarily the result that the team might have hoped for, a 2-1 defeat. However, we just don't feel that that result really reflects the performance, because there were plenty of chances and actually Leicester played very well. It's just unfortunate to have the loss here at this stage.
Yeah, I just think that they created the majority of the chances. Maybe you could argue, weren't as clinical as they needed to be. I think they deserved that goal at the end. The performance, I know it doesn't mean much, but looking at that scoreline, I think they'll be disappointed with the way that they played. It'll be interesting to see the West Ham penalty back as well in terms of that incident. Saw it in real time, didn't feel like it was in real time. I might be shown different with the replay, but yeah, I think they'll be very disappointed because they were a better team for the majority of the game. But the most important thing is being clinical in the final third, and that's just what was lacking a little bit today for Leicester.
And Georgia, of course, you were sat there with the team. Tell us how the feeling is now in the squad, because it's a little bit tricky to take this, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be disappointing, but we've got one more game to go, so we've just got to finish on a high now.
And actually, in terms of the overall season standings, it's not really making a huge amount of difference at this stage. We just need to make sure that Reading have another loss. But
yeah, I mean, we'd obviously like to have finished it off today, but now we've got to go into next week and put in a performance, end the season on a high, finish it on our note.
Well, not necessarily the result that Leicester would have wanted, but plenty to like. Let's take a look at the goal that they scored in that second half.
I think this is a really well taken penalty. Had a lot of time to think about it, but sends the keeper the wrong way. Hard and low. Obviously, there was a lot of pressure on that penalty, but takes it really well, Hannah Kane.
Yeah, certainly, Georgie, you know, the pressure must be on in that kind of situation, but absolutely delivered there.
Yeah, great finish, but I think if it come the other side of the 90 minutes, just before that added time, I think it might have been a different 9 minutes, but unfortunately it was just a little bit too late for us to get another one.
Better late than never, and it does slightly improve things in terms of the goal difference.
Yeah, I mean, everything counts. It might come down to it, it might not, but at least we got one goal on the board in case it does.
But one thing that we've talked about a lot is the fact that Leicester had a lot of chances, and we're going to take a look back at a few of those now, because there were quite a few here, both in the first half and in the second half. Here, of course, we're looking at the second half.
Yeah, I think less so in the second half. I think in the first half there were more quality chances. Still think they fought really hard. Leicester trying to get the ball in the box. You see there, Ruby Mason doesn't quite get a knee and a hip over that ball and sends it over the bar. And I think they fought really well for the seconds. It was a bit more scrappy, and that hit the crossbar again. Unlucky the way it falls. You're almost wanting that to fall a little bit quicker, so it's a easier opportunity. But you know what I can say about Leicester is that they definitely didn't give up. They pushed until the end, but it just didn't fall quite right for them today.
And it absolutely, you know, as you say, certainly wasn't for want of trying, was it? Because, you know, we've got, as you can see here, quite a lot of chances that we can even look at, and they came from all different places, all different sort of setups here, and just so unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, we created some chances, we just couldn't get the clinical finish on the end of it. It doesn't always have to be pretty, but we just couldn't seem to find a way to put it in the back of the net today.
Still plenty to like, though, and still plenty to be encouraged by for the final game.
Yeah, I think, look, creating the chances is the most important thing. Obviously, the next step, again, is putting it in the back of the net. And like I say, there's two ways you can look at it in terms of, yes, the positive in creating the chance, but you've got to stick them away. Unfortunately, this one, I just think the connection's wrong. That's got to go back across the keeper for me, rather than at the near post. But again, that's all a learning process. That'll be analysed and be taken into Brighton, I'm sure.
Something that we've talked about in the previous matches is that actually one of the strategies is trying for the girls to try and get the ball closer to the box rather than try and shoot from further away. Actually, today we've seen a couple of shots taken from quite a long way back. Georgie, do you think that's something that's changed, or do you think it's kind of, not desperation is probably too strong a word, but you know, the keenness to try and get the goals is driving that?
Yeah, probably comes from frustration. I think at half-time Willie was not too keen on all of the shots from outside of the box unnecessarily. Obviously, if it's on, take them, but just comes from frustration towards the end of the game, yeah.
Well, let's take a little look back then at the West Ham goal, because of course that was a pretty key moment of the game. That was the clincher.
Yeah, I see that the cross comes in. I think, yeah, looking at that again, unfortunately, Sophie Howard, I think she turns her back, the arm is outstretched, and I know she can't see the ball. I know it's not intentional, but you know what we talk about now in terms of, you know, in terms of the positioning of the hand, natural and unnatural, and it was a really good penalty, to be fair. The keeper obviously went the right way, but when it's that far in the corner, it's going to be really difficult to save.
Yeah, certainly, you know, so much there that you can sort of take away, and absolutely just not really the situation that we might have anticipated. You know, certainly, as you say, something that wasn't intentional, but unfortunately has resulted in that 2-1 result.
Yeah, it's unfortunate always to give away a penalty, especially when she's clearly not meaning to do it, but the arm is above the head, so ref has no choice but to give it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in addition to the goals, in addition to the chances, there were a couple of tricky moments actually as well, and you know, sometimes it's not so easy to look at the more difficult moments of the game. We do, though, have some footage of one of the more difficult moments in the game, and I think it's probably important to sort of look at that as well, as we see, you know, the fact that it's probably the frustration coming in once again for the team. Again, you know, they're really keen to get the ball forward, keen to get the goals.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's malice in this challenge whatsoever. But no, as you say, that you're trying to win the ball back, doing everything that you can for the team. I think that might have been the first one actually, and then the problem is when you're on a yellow card, you're always walking a little bit of a tightrope for the rest of the game, and Again, it's just the eagerness to win the ball back. You saw the disappointment in her face when she was walking off. She was nearly in tears, and I think, you know, at that point she probably knows it is a cynical one in the sense that she knows what she's doing. Again, you know, it's not going to injure a player, there's no malice, but when you're on a yellow card, you just can't make those challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, you know, so much to look forward to in the final game, and so much to look to that's been so encouraging in the whole season as well. We do actually have Lewis standing by with one of the players, so let's go to him now and see who he's managed to catch up with.
Aileen, commiserations today. How would you sum up today's match?
In all honesty, we didn't show up. I question the mentality, I question the passion and the commitment to that game. Minute one, we didn't show up, we didn't put tackles in, we didn't look like we were confident on the ball, and complete opposite to how we've been training all week. We thought we've had a really good training week and we should have gone out and performed a lot better than that.
And that's a real change from recent matches as well.
Yeah, and especially at the King Power, I think we display our dominant performances here, and today we should have done that and we haven't, so we can only apologise to the fans for putting on that performance.
Why do you think there was that change today? What was it? Was it a pressure thing?
If you've got the answers, that would be great. I have no idea. I think individually we need to look at ourselves, and as a collective look at ourselves, and you know, it's now down to the last game of the season, so we have no choice but to go and win at Brighton, and we can't come away with anything less now.
There was some irritation. We saw you a couple of times trying to hurry this game along. Did you feel that it was a game that was getting kind of stopped and started too often?
Yeah, I mean, credit to West Ham. The early goal went in and they've just delayed the game from then on. I think, obviously, it's not my responsibility to get the play underway quicker. It's obviously the referees, but I had to take it into my own hands because, you know, we're fighting for 3 points and we weren't there yet.
Of course, hard at the moment, but today was the last game at King Power Stadium. How do you reflect on playing in front of these fans at this ground every week?
I just hope now that we can go and do it at Brighton, so next year we can put on the performances from the start of the season rather than wait until the January transfer window to bank on players coming in to make a difference. So, you know, we've got one more game left and we will stay in this league. We've just got to make sure we do a better job than we did today.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Aileen.
Thank you.
To hear, of course, from some of the players and make sure that we've got their feelings on the performance today. However, another man who we are very keen to hear from is Willie Kirk, because you've had 2 fantastic wins at home. Not necessarily the result that you would have liked today, but there was so much to like about that performance, so much good to take away.
Yeah, I feel that potentially yesterday's result has actually overwhelmed us a little bit in terms of the players knew that today could have been the day that like mathematically we retained our status, and I just think that maybe became a little bit too much. I think we've overthought it. I don't think we've shown a true reflection of ourselves over like what we've done in the last 4 or 5 months, especially as you say the last 2 or 3 performances at King Power. I don't think we've replicated that. We never moved the ball quickly enough. We seemed a yard off it, and you know, I don't think the players have got complacent, but I think possibly the potential of doing what we wanted to do maybe just overwhelmed us a little bit.
And what was your strategy going into the second half? Because, you know, to be 1 down in the first half was not really where you would have expected to have been either.
Yeah, I was okay at half time because I felt we couldn't be as bad as we were in the first half. And saying that, when we did play and we moved the ball quick, I felt we created 2 or 3 opportunities. There was just at times it looked a little bit desperate. Like we lost the goal and it looked like the players felt we had to equalise within the next 10-15 minutes. You know, you had all that time to play with, and we just got a little bit desperate. We made some silly decisions on the ball in terms of shots for distance that were never going to trouble a goalkeeper of that quality. And even if there wasn't a goalkeeper there, we've never told the players to be hitting shots for 30 yards, for 25 yards on the angle. So just some poor decisions in possession, and yeah, we've not really showed up, and it's disappointing because we wanted to finish with 3 straight wins at King Power.
I mean, that's quite interesting, actually. I just want to quickly touch on that, because when you were saying about the fact that you would have expected them to have played better, because actually, Courtney, you were saying earlier that especially in the first half, there were so many chances that they created, and actually they looked pretty strong.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of chances created, but I think sometimes on the second phase when it was dropping, whether that, you know, sometimes it's a little bit of luck, but sometimes it's the anticipation of that ball just wasn't there at times in the first half.
Yeah, and the difference I think between today and Liverpool and Reading is we were on that. We were on the second balls, and that's why I think we were just a yard off it. There was a lot of second balls that in the previous 2 games we were landing on it, we were keeping the momentum of the game, and and we created a lot of chances. We never created many good chances, and we've been hammering the players recently about, create good chances rather than just be happy to create a chance. Don't just throw it in the box. And I think it was probably the quality chances that we created today which was a little bit disappointing.
Well, Willie, thanks so much for speaking to us. Best of luck for the final match of the season. We keep our fingers crossed for the team.
Thank you.
Well, there is plenty more to watch on LCFC TV. We have got lots more to come for you. There is, as I say, plenty more to come. We have also got a feature with Boubacar Soumaré, who previews tomorrow night's game against Newcastle United. You can head over to lcfc.com to watch that. You can also join us for all the build-up and the full match commentary on Matchday Live from 7 p.m. tomorrow night. That will be on lcfc.com, on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can listen to that full episode of Leicester's The Place podcast with former Foxes striker Ewan Roberts, wherever you get your podcasts, or you can watch it in full on YouTube. Well, thanks so much for joining us. This, of course, has been the final game here at King Power for Leicester City at women's side. Courtney and Georgia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And do keep up to date with that final game of the season.